Welcome to my storyboard. For my film, I'm planning on investigating the influx of veganism in recent years. I'm planning on going about this by going vegan myself for a month and documenting it along with other aspects such as interviews with existing vegans and non-vegans alike. Just a quick bit of context on veganism. Veganism describes itself as a way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as possible and practical, all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. I'm not expecting this process to be easy, and within the film I will give my viewpoint on the topic of veganism prior to the process, answering questions as to why I haven't chosen to be vegan before this, and why I think it's an interesting and important topic to discuss. Throughout the process, other than just going vegan, I'm also planning on investigating other aspects of the lifestyle, such as the impact of celebrities, examples such as Marco Borges' book Greenprint, and other vegan advertisements such as Jay-Z and Beyonce. Wojciech argues that the rise of mass media affects factors such as day-to-day interactions and points of view. I will use this ideology when investigating veganism, and whether it's due to its notoriety in the news and other mass media that has an effect on the changing viewpoints towards the topic. In this day and age, we are surrounded by social media and social media influencers. Is the accessibility and ability to mirror these online figures a factor contributing to the rise in veganism? With so many followers and so much influencers, are we instead just conforming to a majority ideology? The type of film I am aiming to create will be described as an expository documentary, as throughout the film I will address the audience through off-screen narration or on-screen commentating, whether it be just me or through interviews. The film will be described as a diary film, as it will feature a linear narrative of passing time and day-to-day updates of the process, with updates on possible changing attitudes, issues that arise, wherein broken apart with interviews giving breaks from the narration. One aspect often puts people off veganism is the supposed increased costs, which aren't always realistic for everyone to comply with. I will keep track of this via weekly shop costs as well as other expenses when possibly eating out and other various scenarios. When including aspects outside of food, there are several other factors which vegans have to take into mind, aspects such as clothing and bathroom products, which are often forgotten. Therefore, in this process, I will have to keep these extra aspects in mind if I'm wanting to experience the full lifestyle. Although this seems like a minor issue, it is often a highly debated issue between vegans and non-vegans, and I hope by doing this, I'm able to give an unbiased opinion on the issue, showing out the various meat substitutes and how close they are to the real thing. With all these prior factors in mind, how practical is being vegan for a student, someone who is potentially already low on money, stressed out, and used to having McDonald's every other day, and usually not having the time to plan a meal every single day? I will try and also investigate the issues outside the practical ones. Issues such as the environmental effects going vegan does or does not have on the planet. Topics such as these will be investigated and tackled more through the interviews. Another non-practical issue I'm wanting to investigate is the viewpoint of going vegan for the reason of animal rights and animal welfare, and whether this may or may not be the most contributing factor when people are deciding whether or not to turn vegan. I hope that by going into this from a non-vegan perspective, I can give a more realistic and honest perspective on the lifestyle, and hopefully acts more of an insight into the veganism lifestyle rather than an advert trying to convert anyone. The end result of this process isn't to just pick a side and say which is better, but more to gain an insight into the lifestyle and the culture that surrounds it, hopefully gaining insight from vegans, vegetarians and meat eaters alike. When discussing the logistics, such as the types of camera shots and angles that I will use, I plan to use primarily handheld camera shots as it gives a more realistic and personal account of the day-to-day narrative. However, when conducting interviews, I will use medium shots, including me and my participants. Within the post-production of the film, I will aim to primarily use L and J-cut editing, as well as simply my voice commentating over the day-to-day occurrences. This type of editing will hopefully give the audience a greater understanding of the narrative being displayed. The end result of the documentary is to give an in-depth and personal account of the vegan lifestyle and what this means, all the while giving an insight into the culture surrounding it and how this may contribute to its increasing amount of members. Thank you for listening to my storyboard on the influx of veganism in recent years and my investigation into the lifestyle and media surrounding it.